it's JD here. I'm here with presidential candidate Vermin Supreme. He said he would, stand here and drink coffee with me.
Yes, we're having a little coffee here. Coffee is life, life is coffee, and I hope this climate change doesn't wipe out the coffee too fast, because I think it would be a really sad thing.
The name of this episode is actually We Need to Talk About the Fire.
We didn't start the fire.
Always burning since the world was turning.
So what's your show about here?
Well, every week we tackle a new theme, and with the primaries coming up, we were like, we're gonna tackle politics, but
Okay, makes sense.
we're gonna
Sure.
look at it as if I've lost my memory and I'm trying to figure out.
You may remember me as the candidate from the internet who has a rubber boot on his head. I apologize. I'm not wearing the rubber boot, obviously. Today it's an invisible boot. I met these beautiful grifters here in Peoria, and they said they were making the finest boot out of invisible pony hide that only very smart people and ponies could actually see. And so I hope you like it. I'm seeking the Libertarian Party nomination as a more serious candidate this go-round. A certain segment, or a vocal, cranky minority, have real problems. And I must say that boot derangement syndrome is real. These people have been freaking out on the boot, and because I've been trying my best over this past year to explain to the people that that's a magical boot that has allowed me to amplify my free speech, First Amendment voice exponentially. It's allowed me to communicate with millions of people. It's allowed me to interact with media from around the flat earth. The boot is not attached to my head. I'm not always I'm not my character. I'm not always on, and I'm not always a disruptor. And those are common misconceptions that people know from seeing the memes, the pictures, and me interacting and being disruptive with other politicians and such. And so it's I wouldn't say it's an uphill battle, but it's just a breakthrough that I have to make. So this is sort of my new character, if you will, serious Vermin, and I've had to be going to this serious debates and present, because what I have is a serious offer that I'm putting on the table. Yes, I've got this 30 years of satirical campaign under my belt, but it has brought me to this level where I hope that I can deliver for the Libertarian Party.
Right.
It's a legitimate freaking offer.
This is the question I'm asking, because everyone gives a different answer.
Yes.
First one is, what is a conservative?
I think the definition is somewhere along the lines of an individual who loves the status quo, or embraces the status quo, or lives the status quo, or the way the status quo was, or the way they remember it.
Right.
And they're trying to get back to this golden age of and in my mind it's like a more regimented society, almost more authoritarian in a sense. But if I think conservative, I'm thinking authoritarians primarily.
Sure.
So I would, it's certainly a valid worldview. It's one that I disagree with, but people have these different worldviews that just allow them to cope and make sense of what they're experiencing.
Right.
It seems to be more regimented and more hierarchical and more normal, and they just got no room for the freaks.
Second question is, of course, what is a liberal?
Well, I think a liberal is someone who believes that they are empathetic, that they believe that they're being compassionate. Yet many liberals are also statists, and they're much like conservatives in the fact that they believe that the government or the state has the solutions to these problems. How can we guarantee equality? Well, we'll make a law, making equality a law.
Right.
Whereas, I think it's, I believe, once again, I guess I have a certain empathy because I was raised in a liberal household, but, I think that they believe that they are much better people because they're so open-minded, if you will.
Right.
And that's a good thing, but ultimately I believe a lot of the solutions that they grasp for are government or state-sponsored.
Sure.
So in a sense, they also lean a little authoritarian. There's the belief that their morality or their liberal view should be legislated.
And question number 3 is, what is a libertarian?
Well, a libertarian, it's important to note, because there's like a lot of misconceptions, there's a lot of misunderstanding, there's a lot of stereotypes. I had to work through many of these stereotypes. It took me years to get to a point where I could legitimately self-identify as a libertarian, to understand that my ideas were libertarian in nature. I mean, in 2008, my complaints were, the libertarians just want to let shit fall where it may. And there was no compassion. And, you know, these are stereotypes. I was prejudiced. It took me a long time to grok that there was, in fact, love and compassion within the party, and that many of the positions are based on compassion. So in a nutshell, yeah, I believe it's people that believe government and freedom, there's an inverse proportion. The more government that exists, the less freedom that you have. But also it's a philosophy of self-responsibility, taking responsibility for ourselves, and I extend to others. I believe that, you know, we have to build stronger communities, stronger families, in order to be able to wean ourselves off the government. Because obviously society has allowed us to get to this point where, in effect, they do use the social safety nets to contain and hold the poor people in a way.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's more a philosophy of empowerment and believing that everybody can be more prosperous given half a chance. And if all these, licensing laws, or you know, I mean, the woman trying to sell churros in the New York subway getting arrested, or kids trying to sell lemonade on the street and getting jacked up, or citizens, you know. So I say it's and I can talk about the Libertarian Party because it's the only party that welcomes anarchists. It's a party of anarchists and minarchists working together to lessen the impact of the state on the people. These are things that attracted me to the party. No other party is going to welcome me as an anarchist. It's not a monolith. It's not a right-leaning monolith. It took me a long time to figure that out. Yeah. There's a left-right spectrum within the party itself. There's definitely different strains of thought within the party itself.
It's almost like the themes are the same. It's just the team is different.
It really comes down from the freedom, the personal liberty, the self-expression, being able to do and say and be what you want without violating the non-aggression principle. Very important, of course, if you're a libertarian or a member of the party. You agree to the simple statement, and that's the only thing that really unites us, is that we believe that violence is illegitimate, and the only legitimate use of force or violence is in defense of self or your property. So everybody in the party, whether they're more conservative or more liberal, but you know, the libertarian, it's sort of above it. It's sort of beyond it. And you really have to be open-minded and really look at something before that can happen. Thank you, VerminSupreme2020.com. Check out the Libertarian Party platform, lp.org/platform. You may agree with a lot more than you ever knew about, and you may disagree with some of it, but that does not preclude you from being a part of the party, attempting to change the world and set it free. Thank you. I'm Vermin Supreme.
I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. You're going?
Yep.
Hey, I'm smoking weed with Vermin Supreme. How cool is that?
Pretty cool. Be cool if I was wearing the boot, probably, but still, it's pretty cool.
We got the invisible boot.
You're wearing that boot.
I got the invisible boot, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Keep watching JDHD for more. Hell yeah.